Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Project channel here at YouTube, and welcome to Album of the Week number 8. So, for this week's spotlight, of course, is a spur of the moment choice here, and that's, of course, is Wall of Sound from Killer, which, of course, Belgian band. This, of course, was their follow-up to their 1980 debut, Ready for Hell, which was just a killer debut in a way. Just a great record all around. But to me, it's with their second album here, Wall of Sound. Just a kill. This is probably their most realized. Like, the first album is basically kind of typical of a debut. It's like basically they're kind of giving you what they are definitely capable of. But on here, on their second record, Wall of Sound, and usually with certain bands, sometimes is where they actually start to broaden their sound a bit. Really, they start to really stretch out their writing, and that's basically what you kind of get here. They really realize, I think, their sound in this one, what would basically be their main sound for pretty much the rest of their whole era, the rest of their albums. This would be pretty much their sound right here. The more extended sort of extended tracks, extended guitar solos, almost have a bluesy feel, like more of a 70s kind of feel, like harken back to guys such as Frank Marino or Robin Trower, especially some of the main influences being like Jimi Hendrix or Uli John Roth, though not nearly as majestic or kind of really not nearly like, Uli John Roth, but it's very much in that sort of category at times, but it's not completely virtuoso, but it's just got that sort of same atmosphere at times, especially on like songs such as No Future or Blinded, I think is one of the other ones as well. Just got that real, even the song Hellbreaker, just a great hard rocker that very much has kind of that Frank Marino kind of thing. Almost reminded me a bit of like Woman off the Tales of the Unexpected album. It just has that feel, and Shorty, I think his name, Paul Bandcamp. He's definitely kind of, I think, again, for my book for like good, 80s guitar players, he's definitely one up there. Definitely for like Michael Schenker. So like he definitely was keeping that 70s spirit alive with him. It's like this is just that kind of, and of course he came from the 70s anyways, playing in a band, Mothers of Track, which were a very much a kind of like a pre-Killer, released only one LP in like 1979, I think, 1978, 79, released about 2 7-inches as well. Though really hard to come by, but still, if you ever check that stuff out, it's very similar to what you would kind of get with Killer. But again, I think this is where Shorty Paul Van Camp really found his sound. Was definitely Wall of Sound. No pun intended. Just a really killer album. It's of course a heavy metal record, very much more in line with the new wave of British heavy metal movement. But it has that sort of kind of real classic hard rock sound that's definitely going into more of that 80s metal feel here. It's a really killer record. They always got compared to Motorhead, but I always kind of found these guys to be more similar to like Baron Rojo or Obus out of Spain. Both bands out of Spain. Or even like Raven in some ways, or Tank. Kind of more similar to those kind of bands than just typical Motorhead. Like on here, Wall of Sound, it kind of has that there, even like similar to Tank, but at the same time, there's just something distinctive, and it's from Paul Van Camp's guitar playing, which is again is more kind of that Jimi Hendrix class of guitar playing, just very close to that. And he always reminded me a little more like Robin Trower at times, which I've stated I think before. It just has that sort of just real, just extended. That's what you get here. It's bluesy, heavy bluesy more like, but I think it just adds overall something to the sound that kind of you had gotten a bit on the Ready for Hell record, but it's a lot more focused on this sound, and it would definitely be more expanded on their next album after this one, Shockwaves. Just it's a really killer album, and it's not completely fast and furious. And of course, it was the same thing with Motorhead. Motorhead were never. It's like they always say, "Oh yeah, they are fucking speed metal." Take a listen to any of their songs off those classic albums. It wasn't all speed metal. It wasn't all fast. It was just very mid-pace, and that's kind of the same thing here, but it's done a little more differently. That's how I feel. That's how I listen to it. Still, just a killer record all around, and definitely one I do recommend checking out if you haven't, but I've talked about Killer before anyways. So, of course you probably have checked, you probably checked them out, and hope you definitely like this pick. Hopefully, I'll still be doing some of these picks still, and of course I'm doing my December or so, like kind of like Christmas reviews, basically my gifts to everyone, basically looking at just reviewing albums I hadn't yet got to. So hope you like this pick, and so until then, this is Heavy Thrasher Sam out. I'll see you again. Take care.